So this is the second video, and this is about the machine. I mentioned that when you turn the machine on, you'll be able to see the light come on. There it's off, and then when you turn the machine on, you can see that it's on. I will show you the other parts of the machine now, and some of them you won't use right away, but I'll just tell you what they are. This is the bobbin winder. This moves over to the side and back. You want it to be in this position when you sew. This is the, I'm wondering if you can see that okay. Yeah, this is the spool holder, holds the main thread that you're using to sew with. This is the thread guide. So you'll take the thread from the spool, wrap it around here, and then you go down through this, come back up here. There's a thread uplift, which is right in here, you can see. And it moves the needle and this lever up if you turn on this knob that's on the side. I'm going to turn on the knob and you can see what it does, how it's moving the needle up and down. But when you're threading the machine, you'll go from the spool around the thread guide, down this right slot, up the left slot. You'll come around the back of the thread guide, bring the thread back down through this little clip on the side and into the needle. We'll go over that again later. Other parts of the machine are this dial, which is the upper thread tension. The upper thread is the one that goes through the needle. There's also a bobbin thread that is kept underneath, right in here. This just slides on and off, this cover. This lever is the reverse lever. If you want the machine to go backwards, you push down and then let go when you're done. This little thing on the side has a very sharp blade in there, and it's used to cut strings when you're done sewing something. I'll show you how that's used later. The other big feature is this knob, which is your stitch regulator. So there's like 17 different stitches on here. Really, you'll only use a couple of those. But 2 through 6 are just a straight stitch, and 2 starts with the smallest stitches, 6 are bigger stitches. I usually use something around 3 or 4. So this is set right now at about 3.5, and that's where we'll keep it. 1 is used for buttonholes. I'll show you how to do that later. 8, 9, and 10 are zigzag stitches. 11 is like a satin stitch, which would be used if you wanted to put an applique on something. In 12 through 17, there are a variety of decorative stitches and blind hems and some kind of advanced things. But anyway, that's what they are. Mainly, you'll use the straight stitches and sometimes the zigzags. So those are the different features of the machine. And like I said, in order to get started sewing, you need thread from 2 places. Now you can buy black and white bobbins that are already wound, and it's really easy to make your own bobbins. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So we're going to put the thread on the spool holder. Now when you wind a bobbin, you don't go around the thread guide the way you would if you were going to thread the needle. You go around the little button on top. It's hard to do this with one hand, but you'll go around here, and then you want to put the thread through that little hole on the top of the bobbin. So you're going to, I'm going to set this down so you can see this a little bit better. Take the thread, and from the middle of the bobbin, you want to put the thread through the hole on the top of the bobbin. Can you see how that's working? You can pull the thread through a little bit so there's plenty of room. You won't need this. You'll cut this off in just a minute. But then what you want to do is put the bobbin on, oops. Okay, hold on a minute. Of course something like that would happen to me. Now I can't find the bobbin. We're just going to use another one. This is a metal one. They have more holes in the top, so it's easier to get it through the hole. Plastic ones usually only have one. Okay, we're going to try this again. Okay, putting the bobbin on the bobbin winder, and then you move it to the right. I'm holding on to that string that comes out through the top until it kind of picks up the slack. You see there's some extra string there. So I'm just going to hold this for a little while, and then I'm pushing down on the foot pedal very slowly, and it starts to wind around the bobbin. What you don't want to happen is what just happened here, where this thread starts to wind around the bobbin holder and not the bobbin. If that happens, just stop and reposition it and then start up again. So now the bobbin is winding around the core there. And when it becomes full, the machine will kind of slow down or almost kind of sputter. But you can put on here as much as you want. Don't go beyond the edges of the bobbin. But for right now, because I just want to use it for some demonstration, that's probably enough. Also, you'll notice that this is kind of wobbling. I need to find a piece that extends this. And I'll do that before I get this going too. But then you just cut the string. Move this over to the left again. And then you want to cut that top string that we put through the top hole. You want to cut that off. So I'm just going to cut that off. And now we just have the string that's coming from the middle of the bobbin. So I'm going to now put this in the machine. Take off the cover here. And it gives instructions right here on the machine showing you how to do it. You want to just drop it into the hole there, and as you'll see on here, you want this to go over to the right and then back to the left a little bit. There's a little notch that you want the thread to go around. That's important. So we're just going to leave this sit here now while we get the other part threaded. And this could be a challenge because I need 2 hands. But what you want to do is, I'm holding this with both hands. I'm wrapping it around the bottom here, and then just let go with your right hand and it will be where it needs to be. So you want it to be on this side of this little thing that pokes out here, and wrap around the metal bar. And it shows you on top what to do also. Then you're going to put it down the right side, and when you get to the bottom, just put it up the left slot, and you need to have your thread lifter up at the top. So remember, the way that we do that is by turning the knob on the right, and you'll see how that moves. So this is as far up as it goes, and you just bring the thread around to the back and then around to the front, and it will fall into that groove. And then you bring it down, and you want it to go around this little metal piece. This is kind of the tricky part. I hope you can see this good.